This is going to be a video talking about the various routes Dokkan can take for Golden Week and what we already know about Golden Week in terms of Dokkan's history and what it could tell us now. We're going to be going over easy A's, we're going to be going over potential characters, we're going to be going over why I think these characters are more likely to appear than not. So let's get into it. The first point, I guess that is a first talking point, is that Golden Week is, drumroll, and I think you all know this, usually pretty hype in terms of their character picks. So here we have Trunks and Zamasu, which makes a lot of sense, right? That was 2019's. We go to the 5th years, let's check them out. We have a transforming Gotenks and an Evil Boo that goes all the way to Super Boo. Again, pretty hype. We go to the 6th year, who's 6 years. Oh, we're not there yet. Let's go here. We have, drum roll. Well, yeah. This is the G2 duo. Again, pretty hyped. They go into the Super Saiyan 4s. So not a flop yet. We don't really have any of them that are like, oh my god, that's so surprising. We have Cell and Goku and Gohan, who just easy A'd. Again, very hyped. People loved those characters easy A'ing just now. Or I guess in the last few weeks. And here, of course, we had probably, and don't be critical of me because I don't think this, but what I think a lot of people would consider the least hype, quote unquote, picks, which were the obviously extremely dominant Tech World Tournament Goku and Int Ma Jr. Again, once people realized how strong these characters were, I heard all that shit up. I heard it all quiet down. But at least when they were revealed, you know, they're just people who hate OG Dragon Ball for some reason, and it is what it is. And is this updated? Yes, it is. So, and of course we have the AGL Super Saiyan 3 Goku and the Int Fat Boo. No transformations here, but great intros. Again, this is just going to confirm, this is just to set the record straight that no matter what, Golden Week is typically a hype character celebration. This is no losers allowed, I feel like, in Golden Week. How far back can this go? So this was the 2019 one, as we saw before. What about year 3? Was it still... was it even Golden Week at this point? I don't know. I wasn't playing at this time. I guess technically there was. Yeah, okay. Jiren and the second Dokkan Fest was this Vegeta. But again, super hype, right? This is literally a blue Vegeta who goes into Evolved, you know? So, no losers in Golden Week. We know that. So let's move on to the next point, which is potential easy A's. So last year, if you remember, we got the Int Gotenks easy A'd for April Fools, right? Going forward, we got the Tech Boo easy A'd for the 2nd, which is the actual Golden Week easy A, followed by the Gohan here in this Golden Week slot, which was big. Again, no unhyped characters. 2 Golden Weeks done. Or 2 Golden Week characters done in the same month, essentially, and then the super hype Tech Gohan even. In this spot, we sort of then look at the conundrum that is current Golden Week, because just to throw out, and you know, spoilers ahead. If you don't want DAIMA spoilers, do not proceed further. But I am going to be talking about DAIMA pretty extensively. There's not going to be any punches held. We're just going to talk about it. So to rip the band-aid off, we now have the Golden Week characters done. So the Golden Week characters cannot show up as easy A's in this Golden Week. That was the Goku and Gohan and Cell. What that means is they need to fill that spot. But unfortunately, we do not have that many options. And while you might be wondering, like, well, you know, they could just do hype. But we do kind of also need on theme. So what are we looking at? Of course, if we're going to talk Super Saiyan 4 Goku, and that is the big sticking point. People want to talk Super Saiyan 4 Goku, which means, hey, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. I would be willing to bet that if Golden Week is not actually Super Saiyan 4 Goku from DAIMA, that it is possibly because there just isn't a great roster of characters to set around him. I don't know what Gomah really takes from this list as of present, because demonic power is a very new like spot is a very new category, and nothing here really jumps off of the page as demonic power outside of Gohan characters. And Gohan EZAing during a celebration that needs to help villains desperately would be pretty bad. I don't think we need to like, you know, cap on that. What they could do, however, and this is really important, is they could go with the EZAing of the Saiyan Day unit for this year. What do I mean? I mean that if you watch DAIMA, then you are familiar with the fact that Gomah is a funky little guy. He's not really like super threatening. He is the Demon King, but he's not super threatening until he puts the eye in. When he puts the eye in, I would be willing to bet that that character gets a uncontrollable power nod or a corroded body and mind nod. The issue I then have, though, with Gomah appearing and doing this character as his EZA is that Trunks is an inaccessible component of his team then. And he wants this. He wants this 30% damage reduction, right? 30%. There's a lot of what, how, and why surrounding the Gomah pick, and I don't really know what it means for him, because as I go down the list of uncontrollable power, nothing really jumps out as of yet. All right, there are a few though. Corroded Body and Mind. You know, is Zamasu here? No, it's only Goku Black. It's a tough sell. You know, it is a tough sell. How to fit Gomah into a celebration that essentially has no floor for him. You know, none of the EZAs that I'm looking at here, when I just glance at them, have a great avenue for Gomah. There are a lot of characters that obviously fit a super team. There are a lot of characters that obviously would help Goku. One of the big things I'd say is if they do EZA this into Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, and then they release Super Saiyan 4 Goku, sorry, a little yawn there, you essentially create the giant 8 power team, right? You completely create that team, and it comes online in a big way. So I'm talking about actually looking into characters like, is in Super Saiyan 4 Goku not on final trump card? That's very funny. I guess he's not. That's wow. I guess it's just one of those things though where the more I just throw it around in my head, the more I'm kind of wondering, like, what does Gomah give us contextually? What does Gomah provide for the game in a big way, because villains really need him? And maybe it's just that maybe he just is a solo unit, but it would feel really bad. It would feel really bad to have a character like Gomah come and then not produce a workable team. Right now, we obviously understand that Demonic Power is going to be his team, but Gomah's probably going to have Big Bad Bosses. Gomah's second best character on that team, essentially no matter what, is going to be Glorio probably, because Glorio is the the support in the game still. And so while I do think the Golden Week looks great for a Super Saiyan 4 celebration, conspiring around Super Saiyan 4 Goku Mini and giving Giant 8 Power a big boon, I do sort of see the inherent risk of going with a Gomah and Super Saiyan 4 celebration, because Demonic Power, it just isn't there yet. I think Demonic... what do I want to say here? I want to say that Demonic Power is a bit of a mistake category. I think whenever they do categories that are themed around villains or anything like that, it's just sort of a mistake, because they clearly just don't value villains as much, right? I don't think this is updated. Yeah, obviously not updated. This is clearly not valued as much, and it's just sort of one of those issues where if they don't care to actually give us characters that slide into these spaces without needing to run mixed match teams, without needing to run, you know, characters that literally just don't link, or, you know, this or that, then like, I don't know, it is what it is, right? But I guess we can get the demonic power through Beast Gohan, right? Yeah. Okay. So here's like the issue, right? You run Glorio because you have to. I guess you run AGL Piccolo, like DKP. AGL DKP is cap. I run this character a bit. I run him on like demonic power extreme setups. He's okay. People really overvalue like how good this unit would be because he's like a good free-to-play unit. But a good free-to-play unit and a good unit are two different things. He's alright. A lot of the strongest characters in demonic power are Gohans. A lot of those Gohans are starting to age out. So what do you do for a character class which has no like landing spot? I mean, maybe you just raw dog it. Maybe you just say, hey, fuck it, we're just gonna go with it. I guess one last thing I could do is, where is a Dabura unit? Like what does Dabura have? Specific? God, it's so hard to like. Here we go. Oh no, that's his extreme form though. Man, it is so tough. There we go. So like, what does Dabura have, right? You are here. Majin Buu Saga, obviously. Demonic Power Successors is a team. I guess, okay, so let's say then that it's a Successors angle. We're gonna like peer into our mind's eye. Gomah is gonna lead Successors, Demonic Power, or Successors, and let's say Terrifying Conquerors, Corroded Body and Mind, Demonic Power, Successors, some mix. Successors does open up the fusions, which just makes any team they're on is S tier because the fusions are broken. You'll run them because they don't link, but they're the most broken characters in the game. They're the most broken characters ever released. Blah blah. It'll just make the game so easy. I mean, you can get extreme Frieza. You know, Frieza's on there. Goku and Frieza. It opens up Frieza here as well. AGL Easy A Frieza. It means you can run Vegeta. I think Successors is the pick. Successors is the pick, and we know that Gomah will be a successor. We know it. I'm looking at you, Dokkan. We know they will be a successor because he succeeds the throne of the demon world, right? So just as a last little look around, is there anyone else here that is like an interesting successor? If they really wanted to be spicy, they could actually easy A Zamasu in that same one. They could. Because this entrance animation doesn't actually really matter. Oh no, receives an additional key for 5 turns. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, randomly changing orbs, damage reduction. Should have big bad bosses, yeah. A nullifier. Yeah, just like, it doesn't really have any conditionals that are scary, so they could do this one. Is there anyone else they could do from Successors here that I can just like quickly glance? Don't know. The Frieza probably, but that's probably too much. You can't just use every single Frieza immediately, right? Like, because there's probably a Frieza celebration coming at some point. So I think the big easy A for Gomah, if I'm being my most flattering self, is probably just use Zamasu. We already got a few Zamasu from Worldwide a year ago, or I guess 2 years ago at this point. We've already gotten a Goku Black, so we're probably not getting another one for a while. Yeah. Maybe very unfortunate. If you're a big Zamasu fan and you wanted like a Zamasu celebration, maybe this is bad news for you, but this could possibly be the time slot that Fusion Zamasu shows up, because Gomah almost certainly is going to be a successor. Almost certainly. You know what I mean? There's no doubt in my mind. Who else could show up? I mean, who's hype enough? If it's not Super Saiyan 4 Goku, then who is actually hype enough to lead a big name celebration right now, a big marquee celebration right now? I would say that Superheroes is back on the list, in which case we get an Orange Piccolo, but then who do we get as an accompanying unit? I think that's really hard to figure out. Magenta is not it's his name's Magenta, right, or whatever. He's not hype enough. They could do another Cell Max, but I feel as though that's not good enough right now. It feels like Orange Piccolo will probably be a character that comes out by himself at some point, like as a yellow coin or a carnival or something. I don't think he's right now. If he came out in a celebration for now, I think he'd be later. They could do... This could be Kefla's time. Kefla looks good here, man. I hate to say it. And, I mean, if we're just going to talk, like, let's just talk ball. 9th anniversary drops. Or... Oh, it doesn't have 10th anniversary here? That's sad. 10th anniversary drops, and we get characters like the... We get characters like Evolution Blue Vegeta. We get characters like Goku and Frieza. And guess what? They don't have any place to go. Who solves that problem? I mean, you know, I don't want to be this guy, but it's probably time for another UI Goku at some point. I mean, it really is one of those things where, like, how deep does your love go for UI? Because if he's your favorite character, then this moment getting redone is pretty hype for you. Especially because there is that UI Goku TUR that people like as well, who's kind of like classic, but it could be the time for Kefla. Kefla looks really good here because I think she's hype enough. Because she's never gotten a big unit. She's gotten DFEs before. She's gotten fusing DFEs before, but Golden Week is a special kind of big unit, and I think Kefla fits the slot. But yeah, for now, I'm just gonna say it's probably a Gomah. It's probably Gomah and Super Saiyan 4. If it's not, another thing I've seen people postulate a lot is Goku and Frieza. Goku versus Frieza, Golden Week. The only issue I'm kind of having with that, if I had to pick one, is the easy A's are a little finicky still. So you could do Ginyu. You know, Ginyu could of course show up. Ginyu has the issue where if you do decide to make it a Goku themed celebration, and then, you know, you try to fit in like the Namek tie-in, how do you sort of reconcile the fact that Ginyu is he needs his squad, right? Am I crazy? Am I misremembering? How much does it matter? He's giving Ginyu Force per Ginyu Force when there's another Ginyu Force. What they could do is make it Space Traveling Warriors. What they could do is make it Terrifying Conquerors. There's nothing that says they can't change the actual attributes. They did this earlier in the year, right? With Bardock, with free-to-play Bardock. So they could just change these lines to Terrifying Conqueror or Space Traveling Warrior, which opens up a Frieza. If it is Goku versus Frieza, if it is Namek Goku versus Frieza, I think it also opens up the line for easy. One, we do have the free-to-play Frieza and Cooler waiting. We do also have a bunch of Coolers and a Golden Frieza and a Universal Survival Saga Frieza who have nowhere to go. Right now, we have no idea when we're getting Coolers again. That said, the only reason I would say that it's not really much of a plan right now is because the next time Cooler comes back, I think it's going to be as a premium card. And the next time Cooler comes back, I think he's getting his EZAs, and you're going to make it Cooler team. And I think they want that to be the case because Cooler is money. Like, as we can remember, we don't have an LR Cooler who is like super premium, super hype, that transforms into second form Cooler, right? So it just makes the most sense for them to hold on to that. We also don't have a Cooler who charges through the beam, right? Like a beam nullification countering Cooler who like charges through the blast, and like, I mean, everyone knows that moment. I mean, if you watched the dub when you were a kid, like they had like rock music, they had like fucking Stained playing or something when that happened. Like, it's crazy. It's one of those like classically campy moments from the series. But yeah, I don't really think it would come to this. I think what they could do also is they could EZA the Bardock. Your Bardock down here. But yeah, further down the list for sure. The last thing I would say, if I was to really dig deep, is, and this is probably the most This is probably one of the most unpopular ones, but I think one of the ones that would help the most for in general. GT Celebration. GT Celebration with maybe a Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta or a Super Saiyan 4 Goku, or maybe the combined, and then like a Super 17. I think that GT needs a little more love. Giant 8 Power needs a little more love. It needs literally one character. Giant 8 Power literally needs one character to be a real team. It can still be a real team. It can still be a real team. If you're a believer, if you're a coper, and it's not even cope. But with all that said, I think that's gonna do it for me for today. Like, if you like the video, subscribe to join the club. We all gonna make it, and please don't fumble the Gomah release because villains really need it. Peace.